Welcome to the Voice of the Coast. I am your host, Danica. Along with me, we have Chief Chad Adams with Morgan City Police Department. Now, of course, I just happened to get this conversation with you going right after the big snow event in January. So we're here again, still in January. Fresh snow still is outside.
Yes, ma'am.
During this conversation. But before we get to the snow event, let's kind of do a recap of 2024. Kind of tell me, how did 2024 treat you?
Look, 2024 was good. I just completed my second year as chief here in Morgan City. We're still moving forward. You know, I was able to purchase new equipment for the department through grants. Young's Fund has been a great contributor to me. Was able to purchase new body cameras, top of the line. The model is, I think it's going to be the 4, along with in-car camera systems as well too, to be able to capture all the event that takes place. With that, it was really needed with the body cameras is if we have a major event, like an officer calling for assistance, and he don't respond on the radio, administration can go live on the computer and live stream and look at the body camera and see what's going on and see if the officer's okay. And a lot of times we look at it, they're handcuffing, and we can slow everybody down that's responding.
So really, in essence, you're kind of like an assistant. You're assisting in the arrest.
Yeah.
If necessary.
Well, to see if we got to send more backup, you know, because look, when you hear an officer call for help and you don't have nobody hearing the response, you know, you always think about the worst thing happening. So to be able to look on that body camera and see if everything's good.
In real time.
In real time.
Oh, wow.
And if we're having a major event, we can actually talk two-way through it as well, too. So if the officer gives consent, he can hit a button, and if he needs to ask any questions, whatever, he can hit that, and we can talk both ways to the body camera.
Yeah, that's good. And also just good for oversight as well.
Yes.
All right, cool. Now, speaking of cameras, let's talk about Project NOLA. It took me a minute, but driving in one part of the city, I saw this camera just flashing, and I called, hey, what's going on? What's this camera situation? I knew that Project NOLA was something that you guys were interested in kind of spreading out around the city, asking business owners or homeowners if they'd like to participate. Before we get to, kind of tell us a little bit about Project NOLA and what does it do for our city?
So with Project NOLA, what I wanted to have is be able to have real-time information for our dispatchers. If we get a call in an area, dispatch can look at it, see what's coming and going out of that situation. So if we get a call, like say shots fired. Some of those cameras do have gunshot technology in it, so we'll get an alert. Dispatch can look at it and start seeing if people are leaving or cars are leaving and get descriptions to those officers that's coming into that call. So we get live time information. It also records as well too, so if we have to go back and get any recordings from the event, it's great for evidence.
Let's just kind of talk about one in particular investigation. We had heard shots fired within our direct area right here at the TV station. Yes, and they were wondering, hey, what's going on? Called the police department, let you guys know that there was what we thought were gunshots or either a car backfiring. Wasn't quite sure. But this is when Project NOLA came into play, really helped out with the investigation, and it used a lot of AI technology. So we're kind of dealing with some top-of-the-line camera systems here.
Yes, ma'am. So the camera that we have in this area was able to confirm it was a gunshot. It wasn't a car backfire. And look, as soon as we got the call, the officers got on it. Berwick Police Department as well was made aware of it. And you know, us working together was able to locate the vehicle in Berwick and make an arrest on it.
So just kind of remind you guys, if you kind of look back, we actually did a report on it.
Yes.
It was around, I believe, it was early afternoon, so maybe 10, 11, and by at least 3 o'clock, you guys had solved the investigation.
Correct, we had him in custody.
Yes, and typically without this camera system, you'd have to go door to door, maybe talk to individuals, but this was pretty much wrapped up very quickly, shots fired from the bridge.
Yeah. Traveling west on US 90.
Yes, and you guys were able to utilize these cameras, make an arrest, and here we are. And right now, how many cameras do you have around the city, and do you plan to get more?
Yeah, so I started off when I started looking at Project NOLA through a donation. I was able to put up 3, and then from there, I've got more donations from business owners. Marshall Liner has also donated 3 cameras that we have downtown, which covers also for the festival as well. We have one on Front Street and one in the park as well too. So I'm looking to still grow. If you're interested, contact Morgan City Police Department and we'll assist you through the process. But it's very unique, like I was telling you earlier. The camera, once we install them, starts scanning the area, and once it learns the area, if it detects something that's not normal, it winds up, capturing it for us if we have to go back and view it.
Has it really kind of helped in a lot of investigations where you're able to use your officers in other areas instead of, having to do a lot of the footwork?
Yes, and the other thing too is we don't have to have a whole bunch of officers, you know, uh, on patrol now. You know what I'm saying? Because I
Yeah.
can cover those areas, dispatchers looking at it and seeing what's going on. We can be covering other areas and making patrols. So it's nice to be able to sit there and be able to monitor a situation where we don't have an officer there 24/7.
Awesome. All right. Well, 11, you're off to a good start. Come on back right here on the Voice of the Coast. Welcome back to the Voice of the Coast. Again, Chief Chad Adams with Morgan City Police Department. Let's continue a little bit more about Project NOLA. I find that it's pretty fascinating
Yes, ma'am.
that as just a business owner, even a homeowner, you can do your part to help save crime. But my question is it affordable?
Yes, I think they have one as cheap as like $250 a year. It's kind of like the motion detector. What's kind of neat about it, it has the red and blue light. So if somebody sets it off, it starts flashing red and blue to deter crime. And that's what they're for, is to deter crime. And it goes all the way up to the ones we have right now installed in the city on utility poles, about $550 a year. So I've been lucky in having a lot of business personnel here in Morgan City really stepping up and saying, hey, look, we're interested. And they see what it's doing and how it's working and sponsoring these cameras for us.
Okay. Do you find that it is deterring crime?
Yes, ma'am. A lot of the ones we were just talking about in this area here, we was getting a lot of complaints from the citizens about loitering, and those complaints have went down drastically.
Oh, great. Now let's talk about internally. What's the morale like? Your second year in,
Yes.
how's it going internally?
Look, I got great administration. I was telling you earlier, we're police officers, when it comes to police and fire, they'll never be paid, what they're worth, but, that's always, they're always griping about the money, and we're trying to do the best we can. Look, we were lucky when I came in office and was able to pass a tax. The citizens of Morgan City really stepped up and said, hey, look, our police and fire need a tax. And without that, to be honest with you, Danica, it would have probably been a bad, not a good situation for us, morale and retain personnel.
Yeah.
So with that, passing that tax, we were able to give a $3 an hour raise to all the employees and help with the longevity raise every year. So that's helped, with morale and so.
And as of now, you are hiring.
Yes, ma'am. We are hiring. If you're interested, look, I am looking for people. They don't have to be post-certified. Look for people that's interested in coming to work for Morgan City Police Department that are all from this area. I want people that's wants to help their community and has the interests of Morgan City, should I say, at hand. But if you're interested, you can go to www.morgancitypolicedepartment.org. You can go on our webpage there, and you can fill out an app. It will be sent to our administration. We'll get an alert, and we'll reach out to you.
So what's the attraction? Why should someone become a police officer at Morgan City?
Look, it's the community here. I find, not just because I'm the chief of police, we have a lot of support here when it comes to first responders and police. I had a gentleman that came to work for me, and he's like, Chief, I've never, received anything like that. And I'm like, what you talking about? He's like, I had more people this week tell me, thank you for your service than, my other previous 3 years. So, Morgan City does support their police and their fire. I want people to come to work here and be here long term, like me and my administration. Most of my administration has anywhere from 25 to 30 years apiece here in Morgan City Police Department. Mm-hmm. So it makes a big difference when you look at community relationships and I want those people to be able to come out and meet the community.
I can attest to that. Y'all always getting goodies and stuff. Nobody ever stops by the TV station and say, here's some donuts. But no, that's good. So you are hiring, starting pay as of now. It's about $16?
Yeah, 16. I think it's $16.03 an hour right now,
Okay.
starting off. And that's the base pay. And then, look, we pay for somebody that's interested that's not post-certified. We're going to pay for the education, the uniforms, and all that stuff as well, too. So that's a plus. You come to work for us, we're going to pay for, for uniforms, your post course to get certified and all your training.
One thing we don't ever talk about are the reserve officers. I mean, how does that work if I want to become a reserve officer?
You can go over there and you can apply, go to the police department as well, or send us a message through Facebook and saying you're interested, becoming a reserve, and we'll have you come in and fill out application.
Now, reserve is typically maybe for people who have, I guess, a 9 to 5, but still want to serve their community, can do things like Mardi Gras or S&P. Yes, no?
Yes,
No.
yes.
Okay.
So, yeah, those are the big things that help us out by having reserves. When we have those kind of events, like Shrimp Trolling Festival and Mardi Gras, and now 4th of July, we have those events on the lake. So that helps the people come out and help, and it's nice.
Awesome. All right. 2 down, 2 more to go. So y'all come on back right here on The Voice of the Coast. Welcome back. Again, let's get right back into it with Chief Chad Adams with Morgan City Police Department. Your expectations for 2025. What's your hope?
It's still advancing in technology. This year we're moving forward with another great donation from the Young's Fund and able to purchase 35 Taser 10s, which is going to be top of the line, brand new. That's just coming out through Axon, who's Taser. With that, I was able to negotiate a new up-to-date interview room that's going to be free by us purchasing those. So able to get those funds in to purchase them. The equipment is old that we had, and then able to be able to get a new interview room. And everything's going to be mainstream. Our body cameras, our car cameras, our interview room, all that's going to be through Axon. And this is another thing I didn't share with you also. If you have an event that happens at your house and we want your security footage, a lot of people can't come home right away and give it to us. And then my guys are getting off like detectives. We can give you a link, and when you get home, send it to that link, and then we can upload it. And it's that easy.
Wait, explain that to me.
So if, say, somebody broke into your car.
Okay.
And you're on the way to work and you report it to us, and we notice, hey, look, either you or your neighbor has cameras.
Gotcha.
We can call them up and say, hey, look, we can't come out home right now because we're at work. We can give them a link.
Gotcha.
And then go to that link and upload it, and we'll have the footage.
Okay.
So the homeowner don't have to come home, don't have to take off of work.
Right.
It's more convenient for
Yes.
the homeowner to give us
And it's
the footage.
quicker.
It's quicker.
Oh, great.
And everything uploads to that link and puts it with that case.
Okay. Oh, well, look at that. So I know a lot of times folks like to take matters into their own hands, and they post on social media, which does help. It gets the word out to the community, but, you are our first line of defense, and, getting that information to the officers is
Yeah,
is
a lot of
key.
times when it comes to thefts and things like that, we want to be able to work our leads first before it gets on Facebook. That way we can recover the property, and that's the main game, is to get that property back to the owner. So, I know sometimes people want to get it out there and post it, but please call us first,
Yeah.
and that way we can, get ahead of the game and hopefully be able to recover the property and make an arrest.
Yes, because sometimes they've sent it to us. I'm like, I don't wear a badge. I can't help you. I come in a little bit later, but definitely that, especially to get the word out and you guys get on it very quickly. 2025, I mean, and even looking into from last year, what do you think is the biggest issue we face in Morgan City, the biggest crime or concern? Would it be juvenile delinquents, drugs?
Yeah, those are the two things that kind of go hand in hand. I hate to say hand in hand, but unfortunately, every community does have narcotics. We do work those cases, as best we can, and we'll get those complaints from the homeowners, of somebody selling drugs in their neighborhood. Try to resolve it for them. The other problem, of course, was last year going this year was our juvenile problem that we had when they raised the age. And when they did that, we had all these juveniles that was committing violent crimes with firearms, and there was nothing we could do with them for us placing them. So with the new governor coming in and reducing it back to the original age, now we got a place to house them. We don't have to put them in a juvenile facility.
Okay, so the age now is
17.
17.
Yes, ma'am,
Okay.
17.
That 17 is an adult or?
As an adult.
As an adult, right, okay. So now 17-year-olds committing crimes will now go into adult jail.
Yes, correct.
Okay. Yeah, because I think the closest juvenile facility is in Donaldsonville?
I believe so. And the problem we had was when they came in there and raised the age on us, there was no thought process, I hate to say it that way, for us where was going to put these juveniles. And we've always struggled to house juveniles in the state, so it makes it hard when you got these people out there committing these crimes, these violent crimes with firearms, and we can't put them anywhere. So this is going to resolve that issue.
Let's talk about the SRO.
Yes.
And actually, you don't just have one; you have two.
Yes, since I came in, I got one through St. Mary Parish School Board, which they paid it off as a salary, and then I was lucky enough to have another businessman that come in and wanted one for Central Catholic, and I was able to negotiate him to be able to pay that off as a salary, so they have one as well too.
Oh, awesome. Is it being effective? How do you think?
Yeah. Yes, they got real time. Like if we get a call, they're there already.
Okay.
So if we got something pertaining to school, they're already there. So
all right, we're going to take a break. Come on back. Welcome back to the Voice of the Coast. I'm going to ask you something that that might be a little, I don't know if you've ever answered this before, but what do you want to be remembered as? You're going into your third year. What do you want to be remembered?
Right now I'm in year 3, and I'm hoping to do a total of 6 years here.
Yeah, I ain't pushing you out now. I'm just asking.
But look, I want to be remembered as the chief that came in here and took the department when it comes to technology, and supplied all that to our department. And we couldn't do that without a lot of sponsors that we get. We're in tough times, and having people in the community and in the businesses that has come forward since I've been chief, and make those donations to get the equipment that we need is it's been nice.
Speaking of donations, you just got some side-by-sides.
Yes.
That you guys used during Mardi Gras and big events like that, right?
Yeah, BNG was very gracious. Mr. Greg Hammer, Sr., and Greg Hammer, Jr. Has been very nice for the last couple of years and has donated a side-by-side. And recently, I think some people may have mistaken the picture. There's some shields and thought they were riot shields, and what they are, they're ballistic shields. So I wanted to be able to give those officers, in case something happens, I was able to purchase 4 with their donation, and another 2 from another business as well too, to where we can have at least one in each supervisor's office, in their unit, in case something would happen. Hope it never happens.
Right.
But I always want to be prepared and give those guys a chance if something does.
Okay. I know one thing that was kind of an issue at one time was vehicles. Do you think you'll be able to get some more vehicles on the roadway?
So what we've been doing is, when I became chief, or when I was applying for chief, I looked at the cost, and a lot of problem was the money just maintaining the fleet and the road units. So what we started doing is leasing units, and that cost, because when that unit gets about 4 years old, it starts costing us, we get a new unit. So that's what we've been doing. Of course, it don't help. We lost one during the hurricane, got flooded, so we had to replace the engine. So that took that one down, and so we always kind of struggling to stay afloat. I shouldn't say stay afloat, but make sure we have all new units. That's been a kind of struggle, but we getting there.
Okay. Also, what is something that you got the technology, but what's the one thing that you do want that may not necessarily be technology? And maybe even within your police officers.
I think we talked about that earlier. We talk about the age difference, how you and I, and how we grew up, and to be able to sit there and speak to each other. And I think in the newer generation, sometimes we lose that. And it's to be able to get the officers to understand, get the community to understand, to be able to have that one-on-one talking when they see each other. Like me and I was talking. You saw an officer and didn't really speak much.
I think that's what breaks down the stereotypes, right?
Yes.
Or and then also too, we're such a small community.
Yes.
If you just throw out a last name, say, "Oh, I know your people."
Yes.
So I think when you meet people, "Hi, how you doing?" It doesn't matter if you wear the uniform, and then of course on the other end, I'm sure you get it. You get the ones that look at you because you have on a uniform.
I was telling you earlier, I probably wear my uniform 75% of the time, even off duty. Sometimes when I'm traveling around the city, you know, that's one of the biggest things I did is I put everybody in uniform when I came chief to have a good police presence. So if you did get off duty and you went shopping, you had somebody in a grocery store in a uniform, you know, it didn't have that police presence, you know. So.
So all it takes is just a hello.
Yeah, just hello. Yeah, I got to tell you, like, we went to that stage where, people didn't like the police, and, I do the same thing. If somebody's giving me that eye, I open the door for them, say, how you doing? And, 99% of the time, they look at me and say, hey, officer, how you doing? It's just breaking that barrier.
Do you have an open door policy?
Yes, ma'am.
How does that work for you?
Like, you can call the police department and make an appointment anytime if I'm in the office. Look, I'll tell people too, I got an open door, and they're like, well, you wouldn't in. Like, yeah, because I like to travel around the city and look at different things. When people call in complaints, I like to go out and look at what's actually going on.
How you guys survive the snow? Good,
Look,
yes?
good,
Good?
good.
All right.
Most of them guys are tired. They're ready for it to be over with. The streets are melting.
All right, see you guys next time.